Judges score the contest 48-46, 48-46, and 47-47 for the winner by majority decision, and
still the undisputed African Fighting Podcast Champion of the world. Welcome back to Fighting with Friends, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, Brother Gaia is already with me. What's happening, BG?
Let's go. I'm good, bro. Happy to be here. Let's get it.
Very happy to have you along here. And if you have clicked the stream, ladies and gentlemen, you will know who is with us this morning for us and this late afternoon for him. It is the legendary One Championship and Bangkok journalist, Nick Atkin. What's happening, Nick Atkin?
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's fun. You use Streamyard as well. I also use that. So it's funny being on the other side and seeing how my guests must feel. Yeah, when you can hear what's going on, but you can't actually talk. It's cool. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's funny. It was also one of the first things I noticed when I was watching yours live stream is that you're also using Streamyard. So a fisherman always knows another fisherman, as they say.
It's very user-friendly, I would say. Yeah, a lot of these platforms are quite difficult.
This is not sponsored by Streamyard, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
It should be. They should sponsor Fighting with Friends, I think.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much. Thanks so much once again for being here, Nick. And just before we went on air, we were congratulating you on the new baby. So maybe you could just tell us a little bit about how fatherhood is going and what you kind of been up to outside of work.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, I have a lot of plans, obviously, to do as much work as possible, but it just falls apart, and I sometimes just have to give up and accept I can't do everything I want to do. But I'm always happy to jump on shows like this and help other people out who, you know, were in a place or are in a place where I used to be when I was trying to like get to where I am. So I'm just honored to be here, and fatherhood's great. It's a challenge, you know. I don't get much sleep, and I think I don't know if you guys are fathers, but yeah, that's the main thing. It's also very rewarding though, and if you don't have kids, I can't really explain. It's a bit of a cliche, but it's the most rewarding thing you can have on earth. I'm sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, no advice that myself or BG can offer you. Yeah. But good to see that we got Blessed Holloway in the chat, recognizing Nick Atkin as the GOAT. Nick Atkin, you are, of course, the industry standard for journalism in One Championship.
That is. I'm not sure about that.
I mean, we definitely think so, and I think a lot of people would agree. But like for anyone who doesn't know about you, could you please tell us a little bit about your journey, how you came to be at One Championship, and how you found the experience to be so far?
I mean, be careful asking me that because I did a podcast with another guy, Roger Sands, and we ended up having to split it into two because I just went off on one when he asked me the same question. I'll try to give you the cliff notes. I began as a sports journalist around about 2011. I did a course. My parents were both sports journalists in England. They were sort of famous football writers. They both won, and tennis writer, my dad, they both won Sports Writer of the Year in the UK. I guess I had no choice. It was destiny to become a sports writer. I then started working at ESPN in the UK, did some work with ESPN in America. I was doing a lot of tennis stuff. Then I started doing MMA. And that's when it all kind of clicked for me. And I ended up moving out to Hong Kong and working for South China Morning Post. And I was kind of bored. There wasn't much sports going on, live sports in Hong Kong. There still really isn't. But obviously, being a UFC fan, I stumbled across One Championship and then ended up going to an event in 2019, Demetrius Johnson's debut and Eddie Alvarez's debut. So many big stars on that card, Ong Lat Sang and Angela Lee as well. It was just an amazing event, a new era, I think it was called, in Tokyo. Yeah, and it was, the light switch just went on and I thought, oh, I'm going to do this as a career. Fast forward 5, 6, 7 years, I got my permanent residency in Hong Kong and then decided to go my own way. And here we are now. I'm working with Bangkok Post, but I'm doing my own thing on my socials. I've grown those quite a lot over the last couple years. And yeah, I'm just amazed to see how far it's gone. And, you know, I can't really say much more. I didn't realize people would want to follow me and support me. I thought they just want to support the channels, you know, that I work for, the promotions. But apparently it's they like me. I'm doing something right. So yeah, just been a whirlwind. The last 2 years especially just been crazy, kind of finding my own feet without having a company behind me. But also, I mean, I do work for a couple of companies, Sportskeeda, Bangkok Post. Shout out to both of them for supporting in me, believing what I do. But yeah, it's the journey just getting started. That's how I feel. It's a cliche again, but I really just don't know where I'll be in another 2 years. I'm so excited to see.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, you speak about the growth of the community, and we've seen firsthand. I mean, we've been doing this for, I mean, the One Championship content for about 2-3 years, BG.
Yeah, going on 3 now.
Yeah, and we've kind of also been amazed just at the growth of One Championship. What do you think one needs to do to kind of? I mean, you're always gonna compare them to the UFC, which seems to be like the kind of gold standard in the space. What do you think One Championship needs to do to kind of penetrate into the US market and to get into that more mainstream appeal?
Well, I say it on my shows a lot. I don't think anyone can get into that US market and compete with UFC. They're so far ahead. They're literally in bed with the government there, with Donald Trump. If anyone does come along and is a threat to them, the government will handicap them in ways that limits their growth. You know, I think one tried to get into the US. They obviously thought it was worth the shot because the money is much more, right? The TV rights deals are huge. The fans there will pay whatever you put on. But I don't think it's worked out. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think what they're doing now is what they should have done all along, which is pivot back to Asia, focus on Asia, grow your brand at home. There are some great markets here. There's Thailand, which they've taken over almost completely now. They are the clear number one. There's Japan, where they're making a big push into now, and I think within a few years they will be number one there, which is saying a lot when you've got promotions like Ryzen. I do think they're the number one striking only promotion already, One Championship in Japan, but they have MMA. There's a little bit of a gap to Ryzen. I think they're going to try and close that soon. But for me, the big market after that is China. Go into China because the UFC is backed off from China a little bit. See what you can do there. And then get back into some of the other markets they used to be big in, like Malaysia. They're starting to grow again in Malaysia with Johan Ghazali, people like that. Yeah. See what they can do there. Philippines is still big support for One Championship. They haven't done a show there for years, 3 years now, I think. I don't know why. I think they need to get back there. Focus on getting Asia back. You know, you can go to Denver once a year, I think. Do your show there. Keep the Amazon Prime deal. see what happens. I don't think it's worth one going there, trying to go there 2-3 times a year. It's very expensive as well, and you know it's tough to grow. It really is. And the UFC, I'm pretty sure, is doing everything they can to handicap not just one, but PFL. Whoever tries bare knuckle, it's kind of a rigged game. So why waste your time? That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, for me, it's very interesting that you have something like Power Slap going so mainstream, but Muay Thai is struggling to break into the US market. It's like, what is going on over there, you know? But that's just my thoughts. I'm sure our viewers might be able to give me a different opinion on that one.
Well, I think Muay Thai, like you say, with 4-ounce gloves, it's tailor-made for American audiences. You know, it's knockout after knockout. I do think one could make inroads with the Friday Fights product. If they could do a Friday Fight show in America, or a smaller scale thing. I'm saying don't go to the basketball arenas and try to sell out 12,000. Put on something smaller scale. The first Denver show was 3,500 people or 4,000, something like that. Smaller arena, much more intimate. It was sold out. Atmosphere was incredible. I think they can do that. But, you know, the problem is if it picks up speed and gains traction, you know, Dana White's going to look at it and think, all right, we're going to do that. We'll do Zuffa, Muay Thai or whatever. So,
literally, we'll do something like that. Of course.
We got Blessed Holloway in the chat one more time. He's saying, Nick, I hope you are a Man United fan.
I am. I don't know if you've heard me say that before, but I am. I'm enjoying the recent revival under Michael Carrick. Yeah, it puts a smile on my face. Honestly, I don't know. You guys are fans as well. It's so fun, isn't it? Just not being miserable every week like I have been for the last couple of years.
PG's actually an Arsenal fan, so might have a bit of
plenty of happiness for you too. They're doing very well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to go 5 wins on the bounce this evening. Let's go.
Yeah. I think Arsenal definitely going to get some trophies this year. Maybe even everything clean sweep, right? For the quadruple.
I don't doubt it.
We'll see. But yeah, getting back to fights, we got Blessed Holloway once again in the chat. Thanks so much for the chat, Blessed Holloway. Got another question for you, Nick. Nick, who do you want to see for the next Flyweight Muay Thai title?
Oh, well, yeah, I think Rodtang's busy. He's going to fight Takeru if he fights at all, and that'll be in April in Japan. So if I'm one, I'm just going to forget about Rodtang for now. And I'm going to do Nongo versus Aslam Ortikov.
Yes.
I think, right. Makes sense. I think Nongo deserves to be in the conversation, although he did miss weight for that fight. And then Ortikov is probably the number one, having beaten Kong Torni, but then also we have Asadullah Imangazali just beat Kong Torni as well. He knocked him out. Aslam only got a decision. So you could argue Asadullah, but I don't think... I think Asadullah would probably need one more win. So I'd go Ortikov and Nongo, and I'd do that as soon as possible, headline the Lumpini event. Get this division going. It's too good not to have a champion. It's over a year, I think 15 months since there's been a champion in this division when Rodtang lost the belt on the scales. We've got to move on, right? There's so many talented fighters. Let's do an interim. It's not an interim belt, sorry, a vacant belt. And then when Rodtang's ready, he can come back, and if he wants to, challenge for it. But I think Rodtang may be moving into the era of super fights only. Yeah. We may not see him go for the belt again.
Yeah,
and see. Yeah. You also got Akif Kulazada in that division as well. That's pretty top talent.
Yeah, he's amazing, but I'm not sure what he's going to do because I'm not sure if it was a joke, but his coach or one of his coaching team messaged me sent me a picture of him looking absolutely jacked, and he was posing, and he said, "Oh, we're coming for featherweight," and I said, "What?
Jeez,
really?"
What?
I mean, he's big, definitely a big flyweight, cuts a lot. Bantamweight would be more natural, but featherweight. So I don't know whether it's because he's in that gym with Venom, and they obviously have a plan there. They want Abdullah Diakayev to have the flyweight belt. They want Nabil they want Abdullah to have the bantamweight. They want Nabil to move up for featherweight, and I think they want Asadullah to have the flyweight. So where does Akif fit in? That's the thing. Maybe they're going to try to get Akif featherweight now, and then when Nabil eventually comes up to featherweight, they can think about that. But they want to have everything, all the belts in one gym, basically.
Yeah.
I can see. I get the feeling he might struggle at featherweight. He might do really well at bantamweight, actually.
Bantamweight would be perfect. I think he's the right size, the right height. Yeah, feather, he's going to be a little small, I think, height-wise, but he's so good. He could make that up. And I don't know if he's even finished growing. He's like 18 or 19. He may have a growth spurt. He may have already shot up another inch or two. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We'll see. But there's definitely going to be interesting scenarios because eventually that gym are all going to have to fight each other. Venom. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Very exciting times in the flyweight division. But I had to laugh when I saw this chat coming from PG Arsenal fans. Like literally, Brian and Bamo. Love that, bro.
Why?
So yeah, Dick, one Fight Night 40 is coming up. And yeah, we just kind of wanted to get a bit of insight from you as to what the weekend of Fight Week is like for you going into it with regards to media, weigh-ins, post-fight things and all of that. Maybe just as much insight as you can give us from looking from the other side of the curtain, so to speak, you know?
Well, yeah, my old drill would be I'll fly in on Tuesday night to Bangkok or wherever for a fight night. It's always Bangkok, right? And then I'll have a bunch of interviews on Wednesday with the fighters. And then Thursday, you've got weigh-ins in the evening, but there's also Friday fights, face-offs. So it's a bit of a crazy day. Thursday, I'll go to Lumpini, do those face-offs, back to the hotel, do the weigh-ins. Then Friday, you used to have the face-offs for fight night, but they stopped doing them last year because of the earthquake in Bangkok. They still haven't brought them back. I'm hoping they bring it back soon because I love those. But now it's just Fridays look like, you got Friday fights in the evening, then you've got Saturday morning fight night. It's a very quick turnaround. Those have been some of the most horrible nights of sleep I've ever had. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Yeah, when one do these late night, early morning things, it's brutal because you probably get home from Friday fights at midnight, the earliest, and then you're so wired you're not going to get to bed till 1 or 2, and then you're going to be up at 6 or something, maybe earlier, to get to the stadium for 7 a.m. Sometimes they were starting it, but now they have pushed it back to 9 a.m. local time, which is a blessing. So you do end up getting about 5 hours sleep guaranteed. But what was the other part of that question? Sorry, like behind the scenes or what? Sorry, I just was.
Yeah, just kind of as much insight you can give us as to maybe some of the things that you see behind the scenes and in terms of weigh-ins and just the kind of vibe that you get behind the scenes and what the energy is like for anyone who kind of hasn't seen. Because the media is very limited in what we see behind the scenes from one championship. So maybe you, again, just if you could give us a little bit more insight there.
Well, for weigh-in specifically, it's funny. I actually tried to do a behind-the-scenes weigh-ins video. It ended up taking a lot more effort than I could be prepared to do. But I tried to show off some of what I see, and it's not much going on. Honestly, it's just like, well, every Thursday I'm very close with Peter Miller, who's the nutritionist, condition nutrition for a lot of these guys as well, and so I'll kind of see what's going on throughout the day on Thursday, and they'll start. I know they say there's no weight cuts in one championship, but there are, and they'll start cutting like midday. Some of them, it depends on how much they need to do. So they'll be getting in the sauna or some of them have like a sauna tent thing, and they'll put in the rooms, and others, the Thais will just start running. You'll see them running around the hotel in these sweatsuits. They do it the old school way. So you'll know it's weigh-in day if you'd forgotten, because you'll see a couple of dudes just running past when you're having breakfast. And then things start getting a little bit more serious. Come 4:30, they all start gathering by the room, and there's a lot of anxiety there because I think they're all desperate to piss, right? They have to do a hydration test. A lot of them been holding it in, I imagine, for a while, and then they'll get a lecture from Dr. Warren Wang, who's the head of one's medical services. I can't remember his official title. He's like senior vice president of medical something. He's a great guy, but he's very anti weight cutting, and he's determined to like catch these guys, and he does a speech before every time, warning them like, I'm gonna get you. You know, if you're cheating, I'm gonna find you. It's kind of like Liam Neeson in Taken. Like, and I have spoken to him as well, and I'm like, what? How are you gonna find them? What are you gonna do? More? And he's got plans. I won't say what they've got planned, but there are some ideas they're kicking around, because I think there are a few people kind of cheating the system a little bit, and you know, you'll see them come in drenched in sweat and then they pass hydration with flying colors. It's not like one of those orange urine samples, nuclear orange. It's like pure water. Like, how this dude is dripping with sweat. But it is what it is. I hope they can implement some of those ideas, and Warren's very passionate about it. But he gives these big speech, and then they'll come in one by one, which is what you see on the live streams, and then it's not very exciting, to be honest. They pass, they fail. There'll be a little bit of cheering you'll hear off screen. They'll screaming, little excitement. The real drama is when they fail.
Yes.
And then like, okay, we're gonna be here for a long night. You know, if there's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, I think there's been 6 once, maybe more.
Word.
You know, we'll be here for 3 hours or longer, and then it becomes the waiting game. Literally, as media, we're just waiting for someone to come in, and sometimes we'll wander outside and you'll see them come. But when they come to give the sample, they'll get given this container by the medical team outside. They'll go to a bathroom, which is round the corner, and then a medical staff will like watch them piss in their cup, which is not very glamorous, you know. And I think a lot of them are sort of must not enjoy that side of it. Who wants to have someone watch you do that? But it's part of the deal. And then once the medical staff is satisfied they haven't cheated, you know, with the old Mike Tyson fake penis urine trick, and then they'll come in and put that sample down. They have to sign something on the left side. You won't see that on screen. And then a lot of times you'll see there'll be a delay. You might see this Rick and Doc are sitting up there waiting, and that's because they will have worn something like Venom, which is not allowed. One have beef with Venom because Venom signed a deal with UFC. We all know they have the official merch, or you know, the fighter gear for that. They used to be a big sponsor for One, so One is not happy with Venom. They even go so far as to call Venom training camp Team Medizatut when they announced them on the broadcast. You'll see that. So you'll see them just get like taped up, literally. So there's a guy whose job is to tape up logos and things, and some of them will complain, "Oh, you're gonna make me heavier." Like, come on, bro, this tape like weighs nothing. So those are some of the little things you might not see, and there's not much else apart from that. But then if people do fail and they'll have to come back. You know, if they fail and don't make it after 3 hours, they've got to come back, and that's the really not fun bit where the staff all have to stay up till. Sometimes I've been there, I've seen them like till. I was there one night with them till 2 a.m. at least, maybe longer. I don't know why I stayed. I normally just go to bed, but I felt like just staying that time to see how ridiculously late it does go. And they credit to the One staff. They're soldiers, you know, and they'll be getting food delivered. It's really tough because some of these fighters won't pass hydration till the early hours of the morning. Some of them will just. They want the fights to stay on, right? So they're dedicated, the staff. They give these fighters as much chance as possible to make hydration. But there does come a point where they'll say, look, if you're not coming in, we're calling it and you can't fight. So I know the fans get a little bit upset when some of these fights get scratched. But, you know, if you weren't trying to trick the hydration system, you know, or if you had done your research properly and not come in blind to it, then it wouldn't be an issue, right? I think a lot of fighters do try and cheat it, and also some are just completely unaware they even have to do this, especially the first time fighters. They know the second time, obviously, but a lot of fighters come in and they're clueless, right? They think it's like any old weight cut, they can just dehydrate themselves, and then they're shocked when they piss nuclear orange. And They get told to go drink a bunch of water, but if you drink a bunch of water, you put on pounds and pounds and pounds. So that's when you see those big jumps, like 6 pounds. It's just water weight, right? Because eventually it's like, right, I'm just gonna drink as much as I can to piss, and then hopefully the opponent says yes. That's as much insight I can give you behind the scenes, I guess, on weigh-ins. Was that it?
Yeah.
Any of the
No,
other stuff?
just the other part of the question. I mean, just for us as watching from like outside of the country, and we can just see that the energy in Lupini Stadium, especially for the Friday fight cards, just seems absolutely electric. Is it really as crazy as it seems on screen? What's the energy like in the stadium for particularly for the Friday fight cards? Because it does seem like it gets the crowds going.
Yeah, Friday fights is usually a lot more energetic. I think because you'll have more of a local audience. You'll have a lot of fighters will bring like an entire busload of people from their province or something.
Yeah.
They'll be like, can I have 50 tickets? Or they will literally hire like a bus to bring their village to watch them fight, and they'll be screaming their lungs out. And I think you can hear it on TV. The fight nights are a little more subdued in the morning because I think it's earlier in the day. There's a bit more of a expat audience, I would say. And it depends on who's on the card. You get a lot more international fighters. But there have been times it's been rocking on those Saturday mornings. The Ong La and Sang retirement card was full from minute one to the end because those guys were lining up outside the Burmese fans hours before the show even began. They are soldiers. And that's kind of why the Friday shows are a lot more exciting in terms of the atmosphere sometimes, because you got the Burmese fans there a lot more often. There's a lot more Burmese fighters on Fridays. And yeah, I think the reason it's so energetic is just it's a small stadium. I think they purposely sort of don't fix the sound on the broadcast. They let that kind of raw atmosphere just shine through, even though you can't even hear the commentary sometimes on broadcast. I've said, why don't they turn up the commentators a little bit? I can't even hear them. And they said, this by design. We want to feel like you're in that stadium. And it is a dome sort of. I don't know if you've seen it or been there, but the sound just bounces off that ceiling and comes straight back down at you. Nice. I will say it sucks in terms of Wi-Fi and data. It's non-existent. It's so hard to upload anything there. But yeah, Ong Nine So is watching. My guy. He's a legend of the Burmese media, Tier 1. Shout out to Ong Nine So. Yes, he will tell you all you need to know about Burmese fans. They are crazy.
Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much for the chat. Nick, we are running quite long into the podcast, so just wanted to know what you were like in terms of time and like if we needed to kind of push it along.
I'm good. Okay. You however long you need. I'm easy.
Okay, perfect. Fantastic. In that case, let's go to Blessed Holloway in the chat. Thanks again for the chat, Blessed Holloway. What's next for lightweight Muay Thai? He adds here that seems like there aren't many new contenders, still Jarvis and Sinsamut. That's really it. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, Rungra, I was going to say, I think maybe he'd be next for Ursel. I imagine that's what Blessed Holloway's getting at, who's next for the title shot. It's difficult because, Ursel seems to just beat whoever they throw at him. He's so good. Also, Nikki Hoskin just retired, and I think I was wondering whether we'd get a trilogy between those two in kickboxing. It's difficult because they're bigger. Lightweights are bigger, right? There's not so many of them in Thailand and in Asia in general. Sinsamit's a bit of a freak, and so is Rungrawi in that respect. They got to bring them through from Europe. We have seen some guys come in, like we've seen Cheffy, and he's gone now. And then what's his name? They just released him as well. Menshikov, the Russian, failed a doping test. Yeah, I think to answer the question, they need to bring a few more people up because Reggie Ursel is going to need challenges. It's definitely one of the divisions that needs fleshing out. In the immediate context, I think Jarvis and Sinsamut are fighting in March. So I guess the winner of that's gonna be well positioned for a title shot. But Ursul's beaten them both.
Both, yeah. I was just gonna say
He smoked George Jarvis, who I love George, and George will tell you he can do a lot better than that. But I think George needs to get a couple of wins, maybe 3, before he gets back to Ursul. Sincemo's coming off, I think, a loss to Holskin, was it?
Asuk.
Yeah, Asuk,
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sincemo's like up and down, right? Yeah, he lost to Holskin last year after beating the guy in Impact Arena. I'm looking at it now. Sorry, Trujillo. Yeah.
Yes.
So Sincemo's always like this, and there's no steady contender for Ursul. So if you're Reggie Ursul, you might be wondering who am I fighting next, and they just cut Alexei Nikola as well. The kickboxing.
That was weird.
It's tough. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna have to sign some people. That's the short of it.
I agree. I mean, he's one of the best, like in my opinion, pound for pound fighters in one, and there's like no one.
Totally.
Like that's a waste for such a big talent as Regan Ursul. You want to see him fight at least 3 times a year, and there's nobody. And I find it quite strange.
Yeah, I had him I put him at like number 4 in my fighters of the year last year.
Okay.
I think he was number 4. And some people said that was too high, but I think because he missed weight for his title trilogy, but the way he still beat Nicholas was great, and then the George Jarvis fight, incredible. So I'm totally with you. I think if he's pound for pound, we're talking pound for pound, he's in my top 5, definitely. Yeah, where would you have him?
I would make him a little bit higher than 4, actually. Probably got up there number 3, but because there's so many top elite fighters, you got JDB, you got Rodtang, you've got Superlek, there's all these top level guys. But I think when I watch Regan Ursul, I always wonder who's gonna solve this puzzle. He's too tricky. He's such a tricky guy to fight against, and he's beaten such big names, particularly for that featherweight. He did mention, for that lightweight, he did mention something like maybe fighting against Nabil. Nabil's willing to come up lightweight. I just don't know if Nabil can make that weight class right now. Maybe in 3 years' time when he's a little bit older. But yeah, I'm struggling to find someone that can crack the puzzle of Regan Ursul currently, and that's why I put him quite high up on my list. Nadeka's number 1 stylistically for me.
Nadeka number 1, interesting. I would have JDB up there, and I don't know. You're right. It's difficult, isn't it? I haven't really looked at it. It's Superlek for me has dropped down a little bit, which is incredible given a couple of years ago he was number 1.
Yes. You think
Nabil
he's
dropped there,
or is other fighters just gotten better?
I think he's definitely lost something. I think behind the scenes he's had a lot of distractions, which I probably can't say too much of, but it's definitely there's been some stuff in his personal life that has impacted him, and I think opening a gym as well distracted him a little bit. I saw something on social media where he's kind of handed over control of the gym. He still owns it, but he's not going to manage it day to day. He's gone back to Yokkao, and he's going to dial in back to where he was when he was coming up. I think I did speak with him in Tokyo after he lost to Yuki Oza. Superlek likes a beer, and so do I. And we were having a beer in the hotel lobby, and I just said to him, I think you should go back to flyweight. And he said, yeah, I think you're right. I might do that. And I think he will. I think he'd be a lot better. And Nabil agreed with me. I asked Nabil about it. Nabil said at bantamweight, he's not the best. At flyweight, he's unstoppable almost. So
yeah,
if he can be consistent with his diet, I think he can go back to flyweight.
Yeah, I get the feeling he's a little bit undersized at bantamweight, to be honest. If you think about those contenders there, it's like he might be such a very good striker pound for pound, but I mean he's definitely undersized at bantamweight. I feel like at flyweight, I don't know. I think he might just walk through that division,
Yeah, he was big for a flyweight until recently. Now you've got all these freaks coming through, the big Russian dudes. But it's a shame. It's a shame. I feel for these Thai guys because like Nongo, he was unstoppable for years, and then suddenly, the game just changed like that overnight, and he just was getting knocked out by Haggerty and then Carrillo. and he was losing to Nabati, and he realized, I'm too small now. I have to go down. So he did what he had to do. He's down at flyweight. He's doing pretty good by all measure. I think the Thais are starting to cotton on. They need to be a bit more serious with their weight and which class they're going to fight in, and also take a bit more of a scientific approach to it. And I think they are gradually kind of clocking on to that. They're seeing a lot more guys dial in, like Rambo there, because really taking the nutrition seriously and the science. And now he's looking really good at bantamweight. Maybe, a title shot for him. So they're definitely catching up with the other guys who have been doing this for a lot longer. But, the old school way, Thais just used to, they're not big on that stuff. They want to eat all the food, which is the food has a lot of sodium in it. That's the problem, very salty, which really makes it hard to cut water so in fight week they struggle, a lot of them, to make weight. But they're getting better at it. But I can't remember what we were talking about, the question. But
that's actually a very interesting point. That's a very interesting point, though, about the food and how much sodium it contains and how it affects the weight cut. Because these are honestly things that we would never think about from where we're sitting, right?
I hang out with the nutritionist a lot, and I talk to him every day, Peter. And so it's very fascinating. You should get him on sometime. He's really got some amazing insights to this world, and you would be shocked at some of the things these fighters do or don't do, and it's a whole other side of the game. It's not just fighting. Like, half of the battle is just with the nutrition side of it.
I do remember watching the live stream when you had him on, and it was fascinating. I do remember also firing a few questions.
We do a few shows. He's a good guy. Get him in. I'll try to convince him if you ask him.
Okay, we appreciate that. We do appreciate that. But so there you go. But all right, we'll move on, Nick. Last Friday there was quite a bit of chaos around the One Friday Fights card regarding the new broadcasting system. We tried to watch the fights. It was apparently free to watch on the One Championship watch page. Tried to watch. They had a few issues. For any, I know you did tweet about it, or you did post about it on X. But it was kind of very convoluted. I tried to read through it a few times, and the penny didn't quite drop for me, let's say. So maybe you could explain this to me like I'm 5 years old. What is going on?
I don't even know. This is one criticism I will always kind of level at One Championships. They're not very clear about these things when it comes to how I can watch, and they do make it very convoluted. And this one is so difficult, and people are just confused because they just want to watch the fights, and it turns out you guys couldn't even watch the first three, I think, if you weren't in Thailand, unless I watched it, but I had to put my Thai VPN on, and then I had to go subscribe on One's watch live.watch one something, whatever it is, and then I had to. It's really not much money. It was 400 baht for 3 months or something like that. It was a good deal, and I want to support them, obviously, because I want One Championship to succeed. I'm sure we all do. I don't mind paying a little bit, but all the enjoyment they give me, and there was those three fights I enjoyed, especially Adam Rakib, Adam saw Deshapan, the head kick knockout, incredible. But it's like, guys, you got to put that out there. The world needs to see. This is a star-making performance for this kid, Alif's brother. But I think the upshot of it is like they're trying to monetize, right? Because they have a pretty hot product now. Friday Fights is doing really well, and it's crazy seeing it on beIN Sports. That's quite a big platform, actually. It's got Champions League in Asia and Middle East. It's got a bunch of cool stuff. I was just looking at it, but in Hong Kong as well. Like Champions League, I have to have beIN Sports for that. and I think they have Premier League in certain regions there, and yeah, to be on that is really good for one, and optics wise, to be alongside those big things. I think F1 as well. So shout out for one getting on there, and it is what it is. Like, you can't have it for free forever because you're never gonna grow, and the Premier League isn't free in a lot of countries. It's the Champions League certainly isn't free, and you've got to pay for your big sports brands these days. So a shame. Yeah, I wish they would just make it accessible in every country. If you want to subscribe in South Africa or wherever, if you want to subscribe in the Netherlands or I don't know, wherever you are in the world, like, make it accessible in my region. Don't make me feel like I'm dirty by putting this VPN on and being illegal.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I guess we'll just kind of take it. We'll see what happens next week. Hopefully we'll be able to access it. But you said at the moment you'll need to have a VPN to.
You need, if you want to watch fights 1 to 3. The upshot is you need VPN and subscribe to their system or their service, and then the rest of it you should be able to get. If your country you're in has a broadcast deal with one, you can watch it through that. Or if not, I think you can watch it on Facebook, YouTube, like usual. Sometimes both, depends which country you're in. Like in the UK, you can watch it on Sky Sports or on one's channels, or even Sky Sports' streaming channel socials. So it really depends on the country you're in. It's not ideal, I think, but then it's sort of like Premier League, right? Every country's got a different thing for that, so it's just something people are going to have to figure out themselves, sadly. But one can make it. Go for it.
Sorry, Nick, I think with regards to that subscription, is this going to be only for the Friday Fights cards? Is it going to be for the Fight Night events as well? And then also, if you're not going to have a VPN, then basically you have to be prepared to not watch the first 3 fights and then get it to be on YouTube afterwards.
So first part question, would it be Fight Night as well? I don't think so for now. I think this is just a trial, right? And they're going to see how it goes. I think they'd be wary of putting the whole event behind a subscription. I don't think that. I think that would be counterproductive, because you want to still have that spread across social and the numbers, and also broadcasting rights. So Fight Night, I think Friday Fights is actually more, which is weird to say, but I think Friday Fights is more monetizable. I think more people tune in for that, and the numbers are there. They don't lie. I think if you look at one's socials, you'll see there's bigger buzz sometimes, a lot of the time, around the Friday Fights. Although Fight Nights will have a big Thai name on at least 1 or 2, and those ones will do well. But I look at it, I think Friday Fights is the premium product now.
Yes,
it's the one that's causing more buzz.
Yeah,
I think Fight Nights have kind of I enjoy them, but I don't think they're premium. Sometimes they feel like we're going through the motions a little bit. I'm glad to see the guys and girls get fights, and to have the exposure on Amazon is great. But for me, numbered events are the pinnacle by far. But Friday Fights is often more enjoyable for me. What was the second part of the question? Sorry.
What was it now? No, wasn't the question. It was just a statement. I said if you're not using a VPN, then you pretty much have to accept that you're not going to be able to get those first 3 fights.
Yeah, pretty much. And you want to watch it, right? I want to watch it.
Yes,
and
yes, of course.
Yeah, some of the media as well. We've been banned from posting fights 1 to 5 if we're in the arena. Which is a lot of media were upset about that, because there's a lot of guys who've been going every week for 3 years, and they just put everything up and make a bit of revenue. Some of these guys live off that, Now they've had a bit of a hit. They're taking a financial hit. So I was kind of upset, because I know there's going to be a bunch of people still posting it in the stadium and also at home around the world. And I play by the rules, but they don't. And they're going to get all the shares, the likes. They're going to get the revenue. I feel like the media should be, the ones who are going there to the stadiums and stuff should be allowed to post it. But it's one, protecting their product as well, which makes sense. But I wish they would be a bit more like strict on it and get some. In Tokyo for the pay-per-view, they had this streaming software that like flagged any copyright. You can buy that software. I don't know if they have it for Friday fights. They should apply it unilaterally. And I hate to be a snitch, saying, but sometimes I will. If I see one, I'll message it to the one PR. But look, they posted this clip. Yeah.
Dick, I love it.
All right, Faye. Well, I mean, hopefully we can, because again, we're very happy to pay for it. It's just we want to know how to do it, because we were actually trying to pay for the service last week, but we were just unable to do it. So yeah, hopefully we can get some clarity on that.
I could walk you through it. It's pretty easy. Like they have English commentary on it, and when the page is not like all in Thai. It will when you pay for it and you check out, it will be in English. So it's all good. It's just the very first step of like clicking the button. It's going to be in Thai. You'll see like a 3-month option and a 1-month option. Pick whichever you want, and then it goes through to the checkout, and it's all in English. So as long as you speak English or Thai, I think you're okay.
Okay, well,
you mentioned something about media. I have one question before we move on. Nick was talking about the media, and I'm not sure if it was JDB or Cody Jerome who mentioned this. We had them on our episode, on our interviews once before. That One Championship doesn't allow external media at press conferences, and then also we don't really get a lot of press conferences for the events outside of the numbered events. Is that true, and why is that the case?
So they don't have press conferences outside of for like fight nights. Is that what you mean?
Yes, there's no press conference for fight nights and for Friday fights. And then also there was mention of One Championship doesn't actually allow outside media to be at these press conferences other than One Championship's media themselves, like you, for example. Is that true?
So for like fight night, yeah, they've never really had a press conference on fight nights. A Friday fights it's just like it's not big enough, I think, and neither is fight night to warrant like a press conference. They only do it for numbered events now. And sadly, numbered events are quite rare these days.
Yes.
They used to be every month, and there would be like a press conference every month, but it would be. Some of them would be packed. They'd be rammed, like downtown Bangkok. The one in Japan a few months ago, rammed. I don't know what they're saying about like media's not allowed, because there's media from all over come to those things. I have been at one press conferences where it's like we do it. They do it in the arena, like in Singapore, it used to be like that, and that one would be like a little bit weirder. There'd be not so many media. I just think Singapore in general isn't a great place to host events. You don't have many media interested in it, but Thailand is this, like all the media come, and I would like more press conferences, especially if you've got a big card. I guess they just feel like it's not worth the expense, and it's not. Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, say the card coming up this week. If I look at it, would it be good to have a press conference? Oh, hell yeah, it would be.
Personally, I think yes. If we consider the fight night events, right, those are contracted athletes. They are actually like the top level of the roster. And as a fan, you would want to have that press conferences for events like that. I mean, there's a title fight on this fight card, for example, and the interim title fight as well. And we don't get any press conferences. I find that very strange as someone that wants to support the brand, because also what that does for the audience is it gives us a chance to be more invested. We get to know a bit more about the athletes, and we don't get that. So I find that a little bit of a let's say a little bit of a loss for One. In my opinion, I think that would be a big boost for the company if they can introduce that again.
I agree.
Especially fight night.
Yeah, I think. I guess they feel the media day they do for these cards on the Wednesday sort of replaces that. I would much rather they say, hey, come to the hotel for whatever it is. I normally start like 10 a.m. Maybe they could fix a better time. Just be like, look, well, we're gonna set up a little miniature stage because they do it in the same room where they do the weigh-ins. You know, they have those big conference rooms. We've all been to those hotel conference places with the horrible lighting and the awful carpets and just get a little stage going. They've already got the background there you see for the weigh-ins. Have the fighters just come in, and the media were already there, right? It's usually like me and a bunch of Thai people, Thai media, might be one or two others every now and then. If this is just Thailand, but that's better than nothing, right? Just instead of us all doing like our own interviews, like let's just go for it. Like, you could get the fighters coaching teams to come in and fill out the seats. I guess they were worried there'd be no people there or whatever. You could try and do it at Lumpini. I definitely think, if you incentivize fans to come, there can be a meet and greet after with the fighters. They do that for the other press conferences, but I'm sure you'd get like at least 100 people would come if you said, right, you can get a picture with Shadow after the press conference this week, or an autograph and meet Nico Carrillo. I'm sure people would do that. Black Panther, we'll bring him up. It's there's enough diehard fans who would come and do that, and maybe it's something they could think about. I don't know. I'm with you. I think that's a great idea. It would really, I think, boost interest in the card.
It will generate the buzz again, in my opinion. Because like as fans, that's what we look out for, because we don't really get access to interview fighters, right? So when we get to see those, like the media week, like a press conference maybe 2 or 3 days before this. So this event's on Saturday, so like a Wednesday press conference, media day, and then obviously a post fight press conference as well. And the fans love that because that's when we get like good engagement with the fighters. You know what I mean? I think that's a very good idea. Eddie, should I move on?
I mean, no, I just was going to mention, even those shows like Embedded, I mean, we don't have a lot of those. I really love the access for 1173. That the behind the scenes for that was amazing. And I feel like they should have that at least for every fight night card,
Fight night.
Yeah, I said I know the guys who do that. Ryan, and he's amazing. I told him, I was like, oh, dude, I love the content. I love the behind the scenes stuff. You're killing it. You need to do more of this. And he was like, yeah, I hope so. I love it. And I think the problem is it doesn't do crazy numbers for them. And one's all about, how can we use our resources best to get the most traffic, the most shares, likes, whatever. But it's weird for me because, like you said, I love that content. I don't know why more people don't watch it, but maybe you've got to condition the fans, because we all know UFC Embedded's coming out every month, right? And I just look out for it and watch it religiously. If we had one, whatever, give it a funky name, we know it's going to drop on Wednesday before the show. I'm sure you can get people tuning in and
it also gets you to invest more into the fighters themselves, because you get to see their personalities and things like that.
Their camps, their gyms.
Exactly. But yeah, BG, we had our next question here about rankings. I did see Blessed Holloway fight in the question, so maybe you could just use this as kind of a transition to the next question. I'm gonna head back and run a bit of controller, so I'll hand over to you now.
No problem. It's a good question from Blessed Holloway, because it's my next question as well on our list here, and it's the ranking systems. I know you mentioned this last year, Nick, about the ranking systems going to be updated. But I want to know for so long, why were they so behind with the ranking systems and only giving us a top 5, not necessarily a top 15? Made it difficult for the viewers, even myself, to keep track of the divisions, to know who's next in line, who's the up and coming in that ranking system, matchmaking, if you will. It's difficult to do that when you only get in the top 5, and sometimes you're not even getting any rankings. Do you know why they were behind on that? And when can we expect the new system to come out?
I don't know when we can expect the new system to come out. I honestly don't know. I'm on the panel, or I was on the old system, so I've not had any kind of email saying what's going on with it. I agree with you. Yeah, I think I think you could have top 10s. I don't know why it's top 5, and top 5 to me seems quite limited. Because you can't sort of fantasy book as many matches, right? And
Oh.
I always love looking. I think 15 is too many sometimes, you know, in the UFC, because
Yes.
the bottom 5 is often kind of like the quality starts to drop. Yeah, but the top 10 of any division UFC is pretty much legit, right? And I think one could have had top 10s. I think
Yes.
they maybe were thinking like, oh, we don't want to have names, you know, who aren't good enough, because people
Mhm.
will say like, yeah, we're not as strong as the UFC or whatever. But I don't think people care. If you're a fan of the promotion, you invest in it. You're not like comparing it all the time to other promotions, saying, oh, they got a deeper
Yes.
flyweight division than one, or yeah, oh, their lightweight's more stacked. I mean, like, we don't care. We just want to. If you're a fan of one, you normally just want to watch the product and you want to see the fighters succeed,
right.
and you want to watch them fight. And I think there are so many divisions they could have had top 10s, like you said. Definitely, I don't know why they didn't do it. And then some of the top 5s, yeah, I would say didn't match up with what I would have had, and
Yeah.
I felt sometimes maybe, yeah, I was a bit baffled by some decisions, and sometimes people would just drop out of the rankings, and then with no explanation, and they'd say, "Oh, you can't. This person's not in this division." I'm like, "Why? I don't know." But I think if you're gonna have rankings, I said this on my shows before, like, commit to it, and if you want to be masters of your own destiny and book the fights you want to book, then don't have rankings. Like, just do it how you want to do it. If you want to present a WWE style product of we control who fights who,
Yeah.
don't have a ranking system. If you have a ranking system, you hold yourself accountable to the fans who are going to say, "Whoa, why hasn't so and so got the title shot? He's got 3 wins in a row, but this person got only 2, and they lost to this person
Yes.
2 years ago." And then, I don't know, what do you prefer? Do you like rankings or?
I like what you just said now, Nick, because that what you just mentioned now about the fans, that's actually what you would want as a owner of a product, right? You want to generate that buzz. You want fans to be talking about your fighters and fights could possibly happen. I think rankings allow that. I think rankings not only allow the fans to get invested, but it also gives an incentive to fighters. For example, you got the One Fighter Fights cards, right? There's so many fighters that compete there regularly, right? What is the incentive outside of the bonus? If you can tell me that I could get a shot at the ranking system, I could be contracted now. You know what I mean? Like that for me makes a lot of sense. And if you have your ranking system, it gives a little bit of a clear visibility path forward for fighters and gyms to go, okay, cool. Now we know what we can do. He's ranked number 7. I'm ranked number 10. Right? That's in my next path. And we can all play matchmaker now, not just the promotion themselves, but that coaches and gyms can get involved. I think it just opens up a lot more doors to the promotion itself if you actually allow the ranking system, because then, like I keep saying, there's an incentive and you can actually look forward to what's next rather than, let's say, just staying fit long enough to get your shot. I think by having systems like this in play, it makes it a little bit easier to actually control where to go next. That makes a little sense. As a fan, I feel having a top 10 would be absolutely brilliant. And also, who is in that top 10? Are they contacted fighters only that can make up your ranking systems? Are they fighters that... Because I watch all these Friday Fights cards and I see fighters like, for example, Kong Chai. It's got like almost 14 fights on the Friday Fights card. Dude, what the hell? Why he's not ranked yet? Does he have to go on?
That was one of the things one of the rules they, I think, possibly hamstrung themselves with was you have to be a contracted fighter to be in the top 5, right? So, like you said, there's so many guys on Friday Fights who should legit be in a one championship.
Literally.
Top 10, but they're not one championship fighters technically. Because I think I see it from one side. Like if you sign a 1 fight contract and we put you in our rankings, and what's going to stop you going to like the rival promotion and then making money off the fact, oh, I'm a top 5 one guy. RWS, you pay me like twice as much now, and then one's going to look embarrassed when they have to kick that fighter out of their rankings. And I see the. Yeah, I would just say if you look at your top 10 and you don't think it's a good enough top 10, the answer is not like removing the division or like cutting it to 5. It's sign some more people and flesh it out. Let's go.
Yes,
Let's
exactly.
get these divisions going. Like, it's so easy to get people, and you have Friday fights where you can bring them through pretty quickly.
Literally. I find that as a problem as well, Nick, is the contacted fighters. We mainly only get them on a fight night event, right? Which is what every second month, every third month. If I don't know what it looks like at the moment, but I think it's around every third month or something like that. So you're only really getting your top tier fighters fighting only so many times throughout the year, which then makes it difficult to move those rankings. You know what I mean? And you've got all these guys fighting on the Friday fights cards, which could fill up your roster. It could fill up. I know that you can't really put everybody on a $100,000 contract every time, right? It might just be, but out of the wage bill. But something needs to give here, in my opinion. I don't want to watch Reagan Ursel fight once every 2 years. I don't want to watch, these top level guys fight so little throughout the year when they can go a little bit more frequently. So something needs to give. I think maybe more fight night events as opposed to 72 Friday fight cards, and then maybe only like a certain amount of these fight night cards. But I think something needs to change there, because then again, it gives everybody a chance to really get fully invested. Because then we know, on top of our head, I know the top 15 of the flyweight division. I know the top 15 of the lightweight division. But now I can't really say that because we don't really get this information. I think that needs to change over there.
Preaching to the choir, I would love to. I often advocate we need a monthly numbered event, at a big arena, be it in Bangkok Impact Arena, Japan. They have a couple of venues in Japan they used. Ariake Arena was the last one. Saitama Super Arena. You got the Philippines, Mall of Asia in Manila, Singapore Indoor Stadium, Axiata Arena in Kuala Lumpur, obviously Denver, the Ball Arena, Lusail Sports Arena in Qatar. Just get it going. We're every month we're hitting one of those venues, and you're having the top guys like Ursel, like DeBella, defending titles, rankings are at play.
Yeah,
I think everyone wants that, right? That is got to be the goal. But I'm sure it's not cheap, right? To rent out a big arena, and I'm sure, I think one's moved away from financial model of investment was how they used to work, right? And they raised a lot of money, and they were able to put on a lot of shows. But investment has dried up globally in the last 4 or 5 years since the pandemic as well, especially. And you've seen other organizations struggle, PFL struggling, BKFC, some have gone out of business. I think one has done really well to not just stay afloat, but to sort of create this incredible product of Friday Fights, which is thriving. But now the challenge for them has come to, like, how do we generate enough revenue ourselves to go to the big arenas every month? And they're going to get there, I'm confident. It's probably just going to take a couple years. Who knows? There is some exciting stuff in the pipeline, I hear, for, like, in terms of their products. There's going to be something cool this year. But I think it's not cheap, and that's why everyone else is kind of doing the same thing as well. Like PFL going to regional stuff, right? They market it as like, oh, we're the road to the World Series or whatever, but it's basically a regional show. You're doing something in the UK or wherever they're doing it in France or Africa, Australia, or whatever. Yeah, like, it's cool, but there's one company that can just hop around wherever they want, do a big show, and just come in like the circus and then leave town. That's the UFC. They have the money. Yeah, it's really difficult, man, to actually put on those scalar shows consecutive.
100%. I think we've got to keep supporting the brand to get to that point.
That's what I say. Yeah.
Small changes, baby steps. But I'm not going to stop watching One Champion. I'm going to ask you a different question just to move on to something a little bit more fun. In our list of questions here, we have, if you could name us your number one pound for pound fighter in Muay Thai and kickboxing in the one roster right now.
You're killing me. Oh,
just one fighter.
The problem is, because one have, like, removed their rankings So I'm
Yes.
sure I'm going to forget. I would like when people ask me that question, I have a quick scan of like the divisions to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Kickboxing, I think, pound for pound, yeah, you go DiBella or Ursel.
You said JDB earlier.
Yeah, I think John DiBella or Reggie and Ursel. It'd be hard to look beyond them, but also very hard to separate 1 and 2 between them. Can I have a tie? Is that all right? Like, I mean, not like a tie person. A tie. We like have a joint board.
So Reagan is and JDB. That's your.
Reagan and JDB. Honorable mention to Superbon. I love him.
Oh, top level. And in Muay Thai?
It's tough. Like I said earlier, I would have said Superlek a year ago. Honestly, like think about Superlek would have been defended his belt against Nico Carrillo. Who knows if he would have won? But if he'd beaten Nico Carrillo, like God knows. But yeah, I would say, I maybe this is controversial. I think Nabil is already. Yeah.
I mean, he's top level. He is the Muay Thai champion, right? Yes, bantamweight.
Yeah, he's bantamweight Muay Thai champ, and I think he will be featherweight and lightweight one day. And I don't think anyone can beat him. Honestly, I think lightweight, like you said, would be too soon right now. Ursel would probably beat him, but I think there's not a featherweight there who could stop him. If he jumped up, he's already fought at featherweight. He did it in Japan, but that was kickboxing. Yeah. He beat that guy Wajima just like it was nothing.
Yes.
And that's a former K1 champ. I know that's a different sport, but it doesn't look like the size or the weight is going to be any issue at featherweight. I think he beats Tawan Chai. I do. Yeah.
What about Nabil versus Yukiyosa at bantamweight?
Kickboxing, I think Nabil wins just because.
Clip it.
Clip it. Yours is amazing. Trust me. Maybe some people would point to he could do this, he could do that. I just think Nabil is impossible to beat. He's a cheat code. It's simple as that. He's so tall and the range. He can do whatever he wants to you. Like if he wants to go and knock you out, he can do it. If he just wants to coast to a decision, he can do it. Superlek got in there early, right? And beat him when he was still like a little growing boy. And he was so thin. He was like 18, maybe younger. And that was the last time Nabil lost or even looked close to losing a fight. He's not been in... When has Nabil ever been in danger? Can you tell me a single fight where he's been rocked or close to even losing a round? I can't think of it. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head.
Maybe the second or third round against Wajima. I think there was one of those rounds where Wajima had the low kick on him. 2 of those rounds.
True, but it wasn't like he put it on him and had him in risk of getting finished. Yes. I think I'm looking at his topology, and it's Nakrob he starched, Muay Thai decision, Kulabdam he just demolished him.
Sad to watch that fight.
Yeah, it was. The Lobo fight was a little, and Solinu was when I was kind of held back on going too overboard on the Nabil hype train because he didn't look great in those fights. But I think 2025 was the year. That's why I had him as my number one last year, because I think he stepped it up so hard. Like he destroyed Nico Carrillo.
Yes,
and he pretty much did a number on Superlek that no one's ever done. Knocked him down. No one knocks down Superlek, I think, ever since he was a kid. And the Enahachi fight, I think, was going his way. He already knocked him down, and then, like I said, he just outclassed Wajima in his first kind of featherweight fight, like it was nothing. So, I will go with Nabil. I'm sure a lot of people will say Tawan Chai. Rodtang, Superlek. Maybe I'm missing a bunch of people. What do you think?
I go with in terms of kickboxing. I've also got JDB. I think he's pound for pound kickboxer. But I also
You said
find
Nadeka, right? Yeah.
it's another guy from Muay Thai.
Yeah.
But I think with JDB, the issue with that is I find that the that the strawweight kickboxing division doesn't have enough challenges for him, especially because he walked through that division already. He's fought most of those guys, and he made it look easy against them. So I find that a problem.
100%.
I find that to be a bit of a concern because I want to see JDB compete frequently because he's such a good fighter. He's still young, so you want to get him fighting as much as possible. And then in Muay Thai, another guy's 24 years old, and the guy went on to dominate RWS. He dominated the Thai scene, a lot of titles. Comes into one championship, doesn't lose a single fight, gets a title in such masterful fashion. And also, we just break him down as a blueprint and look at his silhouette when it's fighting. Just like Nabil, I can't see fighters beating that system or beating that style. It's like it's too tricky, it's too unusual. It's a pace that no one really deals with. Maybe Sandro Bossi, if he can make the weight in a couple of years' time, but he's going to get bigger, and I don't think he's going to be able to make that weight. But yeah, at the moment, I think another guy, Muay Thai, is just too high level for the guys.
I'll agree. Yeah, I think I had him at number 6 on my list last for the 2025. But that list was like pound for pound performances only in 2025, but across Muay Thai, kickboxing, and MMA and grappling. So it's a bit of a weird list, but yeah, I had him very high up. He won 4 fights, I think, last year, and he was very much in control and dominated all of them. You're right. He might run out of challenges soon. I think it's good. They've got Song Chai Noi rematch out there. There's a couple other guys I really like. And they fought before outside of one. But who do I like? I like this guy, Petnin Mongkorn. I really like him. And then Rifdin Mastur from Malaysia. I think all those 3 guys will probably fight Nadeka soon enough. So
they're on a run.
Yeah, he's
so they will get him, I think.
Yeah, but you're right. I think Nadeka or Nabil is a fair shout for Muay Thai pound for pound. Tawan Chai, you could have said, but he's been busy kickboxing, and then the injury now. I'm not sure he's going to be the same fighter, right?
I would have loved him to stay at Muay Thai. I think he's a different beast there. My next question is kind of tied into what we just spoke about now. If you could think of one fighter that you're most excited to watch this year, who would that be? For me, it's Yuki Yoza. I'm not going to lie. I think he's coming into one championship, making massive waves, saying big things and actually doing those big things. So I'm more excited to see what he's going to do. Well, because he's in a division that for me is the most stacked, and that's the bantamweight.
Hey, that's a great shout. Yuki Yoza. I'm excited to see what the guy he just beat's going to do, Superlek. Like we said earlier, like what Superlek are we going to see in 2026?
Yes.
I'm excited to see. This is a bit different. I'm really excited to see Ty Rotolo back in MMA.
Yes.
Whether he's going to go all the way through the belt. I think he's and Cade. Who's gonna go for the belt first? Is Ty gonna do welterweight? Is Cade gonna do lightweight?
Yes,
I'm excited to see the Rotolo boys and how they proceed with their MMA careers. Who else? I'm sure there's a million I could think of. I think. You say more and I'll think.
Okay. I'll tell you one more fight that this could be because of my South African interest, and that is Bokang Masunyane.
Yeah, I love Bokang. Great guy.
And it actually ties into my next question about Bokang. Before I get into that, I want to extend the greetings from Ryan De Lange.
Yeah, RDL.
He asked me last night just to send these greetings to you.
Love those guys. Yeah, Ryan's great. All the boys. I have so much fun hanging out with them. I saw them a couple weeks ago. Yeah, they're so friendly. We just have these great chats, and we always get a beer or two.
Nice.
It's so fun. Estienne as well, and Stefan
as well.
There's just a great bunch. There's so many of them. Yeah, there's like Bokang has an absolute army of orders. You know, he's very blessed. I know he says that he is. It's
a fun guy. We're actually getting Bokang on an interview next Monday. But why I brought up his name, because why I'm excited about him. I think he's in a good spot at the moment for potentially going for a title shot, right? I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that he can get a title shot potentially in 2026? And how do you think he fares up against Joshua Pacio?
I think it's the fight to make if I'm one. Yeah, because I think Mansoor and Joshua Pacio, we've seen that. And I'm not sure Mansoor really deserves it because he beat... Yes, he beat Bokang, but he missed weight. And yes, he beat Jared, but it was at flyweight. I'd be happy for Mansoor to get a flyweight shot. I just don't think he's really a strawweight. I think he's a flyweight. He's massive, right? I want to see actual strawweights going at it. I love that division. I know a lot of people don't like the smaller divisions in UFC, but I'm a huge fan of that. They're so fast-paced and crazy. And when they can mix in like a finish and a knockdown or a knockout, that's great. Bokang got 3 knockdowns in the last fight, I think, and that for me was his best performance since the head kick knockout against Rene Catalan, I think. And if Bokang can add that into his game, you know, that's knockout power, then I think nothing can stop him. And I think they've been working on that at CIT. I think it's the gym right in Pretoria. Yes. And when you have Morne Visser as your coach and teammates like Dricus du Plessis, wow, what a team to be around. Bokang is still, I think, the man. I think he's the man to fight Joshua, because we haven't seen that fight. And you know, he had that fight. After he beat Catalan, it was there. And then COVID happened, and I think what happened is he wasn't able to leave South Africa because of COVID, right? And he couldn't come to Singapore to fight Pacio. So Pacio moved on and defended against someone else. And then Jared Brooks came out of nowhere. And by the time Bokang was able to fight, Brooks was knocking on the door. He'd had 3 wins, and I think it was like, all right, well, you're going to have to fight Jared here. And then Jared was on a red-hot streak then, and it was a very awkward submission. He just jumped on his back right from the beginning and choked him out. And I think a rematch wouldn't go that way. I'm not saying Jared wouldn't win or Bokang wouldn't win. I would love to see the rematch. And if they want to do that next, I'm fine with that too. But if maybe Jared's got to get a win somewhere else. Yes. Bokang is coming off a win. If you want to do a fight with Pacio, I think Bokang's the guy. And it's just, let's make up for what happened before. He had that title shot. Let's give him that. Yeah, why not? He's a really nice guy. He's done some really nice things. You know, you may have seen that stuff with the charity when Mansoor missed weight, and then he donated the purse that he got to his old orphanage. I just thought that's it just sums up the kind of guy he is. And let's reward good human beings with something, right? Give him a title shot.
Let's go, Nick. I like that. I'm gonna pass on the message to Bokang. I'm sure he's probably gonna see this as well. But I'm in agreement with you. I think you mentioned all the right things as to why that should actually be the next fight for Joshua. Let's go with Bokang. I'm gonna move on to the next question, and it ties us a little bit back to what we were speaking about earlier. I'm gonna keep it nice and simple. Right? So we know that One Championship is moving into the Japanese market. Correct? There's been a big influx of Japanese kickboxers on the Friday Fights cards. The question is, it's geared particularly to Muay Thai. You got Jirai Ishii fighting as well. He's another top prospect on the Muay Thai scene for Japanese fighters. Do you think that the Japanese fighters could potentially dominate the organization in the future for One Championship, particularly with the 4-ounce Muay Thai glove? So now kickboxing, they kind of own that. When it comes to Muay Thai in particular, who else we can look out for, and do you think they're going to dominate that Muay Thai scene?
Yeah, they're getting stronger. There's more and more guys, I think, coming through. I don't think anyone's at that Nadika level, being blunt. I wouldn't say we're at any kind of imminent danger or threat of Japan dominating Muay Thai in one, but definitely kickboxing, they're going to get stronger and stronger. You're going to see more and more of them coming from the other orgs. You already are seeing it. Any of the top talent in Japan is kind of being hoovered up by one now because they just offer more money, offer bigger platform, more opportunities. The bonus is a huge thing, right?
Mhm.
You know, it's funny whenever you see a Japanese guy get a knockout, you're pretty sure they're going to get a bonus just to. I think it's all this sort of thing to entice Japanese fighters who are watching, like, hey, come over here, you get the 50K or the 10K, whatever it is, 350,000 baht. Like, why don't you come fight for us? And especially with Friday fights, because it's a one fight deal a lot of the time, it's not impossible to get some of these big names who their promotions will let them fight in one Friday fights, then come back and fight on their shows. Getting them tied down exclusively is a little bit more difficult. You tend to just have to wait for their contract to expire. But we've seen that with Yuki Yoza. There's someone else last year as well. Yeah. So I think you're going to see, again, there's some exciting stuff coming in Japan with One Championship. I'm pretty sure. I can't say anything about it. I wish I could. It's going to become clear quite soon. And trust me, kickboxing and Japanese fighters in one is going to, you're going to see, like, I think one's going to really take over that market. If they haven't already, you know, you could still argue K1, you could still argue Rise, whatever. I think one's going to be the go-to for kickboxing in Japan, I think, but also soon, well, Muay Thai is fair game, right? But I think kickboxing and MMA are Japan's strongholds in combat sports traditionally, and I think one's going to dominate kickboxing. MMA that's the next step. Can they take over Ryzen, you know? Because Ryzen sell out huge stadiums on regular.
I believe and they have UFC stars there sometimes. I remember last year they had what's his name? Jiri Praska was there for some of the events. He's a former fighter from there. Theory Gucci moving to UFC, but he shows up his space sometimes. I get you. I think, look, don't give us anything else. Leave us on the cliffhanger. I think that's important. Just keep us invested like that. And I'm sure we'll look out for the changes for one.
It's annoying because I thought they would have announced it by now, but it seems not. But there's some cool news coming if you're a one fan. Trust me.
Let's go. I have one more question, Nick, before Eddie jumps back in. Last year we One Championship crowned the new Flyweight BJJ champion Diogo Reis. Dangerous fighter, right? Baby Shark is a beast. But we also had a debut for one of the UK's BJJ guys in Jack Sear, and he took out Shoya Ishiguro, who I think is a top-level BJJ guy in that division as well, arguably in the top 5 if there were rankings for the division. And Jack Sear beat him. That was a big win for a UK rep, right? I wanted to ask you, what are the chances for Jack Sear to come back and fight more shows at One Championship and potentially get in the title shot? And lastly, what are the chances of him being interviewed by you, UK journalist?
I'll be straight up. Like, I am not the grappling guy at all. I don't know anything about it. I enjoy it, and I like the mix when it's part of the mix. I'm not someone who's gonna sit down and watch the whole Craig Jones Invitational or ADCC or whatever it's called. I'm not a grappling enthusiast. Jack, I remember Jack's win, and I did message him after to say congrats, and I said, would you like to come back? And he said, of course, and I said, that's crazy, like, did they fly you out from the UK? He said, yeah. I was like, wow, they don't often fly people. You have to sort of be in the region, which is a lot of guys. You'll see guys from UK or girls or from wherever, but they will have sort of taken themselves over there, like Logan Chan, I think, who's doing quite well from Edinburgh. He's got like Hong Kong blood in him as well. He got himself to Thailand and then did really well on his debut, hung around. They gave him another fight, right? A lot of guys will do that. But I think Jack, with the grappling, they can't really just pick up any random grapplers in Thailand. It's not a grappling hub, I think. So they have to go and sort of actually spend the money on getting them here, it's not often they have a grappling match on Friday fights either. So I think there's probably a bit more budget for it. But yeah, he looked really good in that fight, like you said, and I'm sure he'll be back. They're never too far away if you're in grappling from a title shot. If he's in the right division, like you said, you know, these guys and girls, the grappling superstars need challengers, right? I think the grappling in one is built around the star names. The Rutolos, it was Mikey Musumeci, it was Danielle Kelly. Mikey left. Danielle lost to Maisa Bastos. They cut Danielle. Bastos gone to UFC BJJ now.
Oh my word!
So they're like rebuilding that division. I think, who knows, but they're rebuilding the whole grappling. And you've got Diogo Hayes, like you said, Baby Shark. They've got Helena Cravar, who I'm not sure what division she's going to be in and whether they're going to find anyone to fight her, because she's like a monster, man. No, I don't mean like that in the bad way. She's a badass in the ring, but like she's huge. And she said, I can't make bantamweight. Pretty much, she said, I want to fight a division up or even open weight. So gonna be tough for one to find opponents for her. Who are first of all big enough and second of good enough to even hang with her. So, but yeah. Also, this guy Fabricio Andre, he's grappling this week on Fight Night. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't made a belt for him featherweight. I think because he missed weight last time. Maybe if he hadn't, this one would have been for a belt. But maybe the next one if he wins this.
Let's go.
Fair play. So yeah, just hate to push you, Nick, but we did promise Jack that we'd ask. Any chance that we get him on the show for maybe 10 minutes? You can obviously get back to me. You guys can.
I forgot that was part of the question. Yeah, anytime if you're watching, come on, man, we'll fix it up. Just message me. I think we had a little bit of back and forth on Instagram. But my Instagram DMs are a shit show. Sorry to swear. It's like, I don't want to. It sounds like a humble brag or something. It's really not, because I hate it. It's just like constant messages from. I have to turn it off sometimes because it just scrabbles my brain, and I end up just missing messages for a lot of people. But definitely, It's a curse, man. I spent half my day on 5 different messaging apps talking to 50 different people. It's horrible. Yeah,
price of fame, man. Price of fame.
No, we get Jack on, and I'm sure he's going to come back to one. He looked really good.
Yeah, we do appreciate it, Nick. I would have felt a bit remiss if we didn't ask, because we did promise to put in a good word for him with you.
So he's your boy, is he, or what?
Well, we had him on. I think it was last week, PG.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was on.
We had him on for a quick interview. So, yeah, thanks for that, Nick. But just before we let you go, we do of course have one Fight Night footy coming up this week. So maybe you could just give us a prediction for the main and co-main, and possibly any other fights that you are particularly looking out for.
Yeah. Well, co-main. We'll start with that. Shadow and Nico. Oh. This is a tough one. I love Shadow so much. Yeah, I think he's incredible. Nico is just. I picked Nico to beat Nabil. This is what I thought he'd be too strong for him. Yeah, that was before Nabil went full beast mode. But I think Nico's really dialed in now at featherweight. He's not had the issues he had before when he cut to bantamweight. He's very depleted. Especially against Nabil. That last week, it was just too much for him. And like I said earlier, I know Pete Miller very well. And that weight cut was tough. The whole week they were kind of, it was a struggle. So he's right at home at featherweight. It could spell danger for Shadow, because Shadow's such a good fighter. But I think you can be as technical as you want against Nico, but when he hits you, he's got the hands of stone.
Yes.
And he's got the death touch, or whatever they call it, that Israel Adesanya used to talk about. Is that right? Yeah. I think it's an anime thing. Yeah, like just one touch, he can mess you up. And but can Shadow's no mug, and he tends to start slowly, then he warms up very nicely second, third round. If he can stay in there through the second round, I think Nico has shown some susceptibility to the leg kicks, right? Nongo had him, and Luke Lisi was doing pretty well with that.
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's a huge part of Shadow's game, but I'm really torn on this one. I'm gonna say Nico Carrillo, just cause I think Shadow's gonna have enough people picking him in Thailand and everything, and it's gonna be in Thailand, so he's gonna have that home crowd. But Nico has silenced that crowd a few times already. I think Nico's on a mission for gold, right? He's well, it is a good one. What do you think? Yeah, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to be doing a preview for this card a little bit later, where I'll break down the fights a little bit more technically. So I don't want to give away too much of my take on this one, but I will say this: I think Shadow is probably the more technical fighter, but I think the equalizer here is that it's 4-ounce gloves in Muay Thai, and I think that's where it changes everything. Because with fighting against Nico Carrillo, you can be as technical as you want. I mean, arguably, Nong O is a much better fighter, right? He's done 8-time champion. He's the guy. So you should be walking through Nico Carrillo. But because it's 4-ounce Muay Thai, come on, like one shot from Nico can change the entire trajectory of the fight, no matter who you are. You saw it against Luke Lissay as well, where Luke Lissay was technical, good, leg kicks were working, tip kicks were working, but then one shot, boom, you see he's just folded, and he was like, oh shit, I don't want to take that shot anymore. And that's what Nico brings into a fight. And I think that's where it changes everything. But Shadow also has shown us in the past, he does get sucked into a brawl where it removes the technical side of him, and that's where he gets tagged, right? Look at the fight against Liu Mingyang. He would not have got dropped in that fight if he didn't get caught in an exchange, in a firefight. If he kept it technical, he would have walked through Liu Mingyang, but he got caught in the boxing exchange where that's where Shadow gets caught a lot in his fights. If you watch the fights where he does get tagged, it's when he gets caught into a brawl where he kind of let go of his game plan and just fights fist for fist. And you don't want to do that against Nico Carrillo. So that's where I think the fight where I think you can use that as a way to sort of stamp your take, Nick, and why Nico Carrillo would win this fight. That's my opinion. But I'll break it down a little bit more later.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think Shadow, we have seen him get dropped recently with Lou, and that was in bigger gloves. But also, I think his first fight in one Friday fights was against Mamuka, who just fought last week, Mamuka Subian, and he knocked him down as well. And he's got a very similar build to Nico, so I think he's susceptible to some of these bigger guys if they can catch him. So I'm picking Nico. Sorry, Shadow. I think he might just find something in that second round, maybe. Yeah, we'll see though. If Shadow can drag it to the third, we'll see if Nico's conditioning's there. Yeah.
I think also for Shadow, key here would be if he could try and keep the fight in the clinch, eliminate that space for boxing range, and just keep it an elbow fight. Changes everything because Nico doesn't like to clinch that fight. He wants to be out here in mid range and just attack the body consistently. That's where he does his most dangerous work. And I think if you get him into a clinch, you remove that possibility.
Well,
anyway,
look, you speaking some real sense. I'm sure they've thought about this. Yeah, I would be surprised if that wasn't their plan.
Let's see what happens. I can't wait. Anyway, AD, back to you, bro.
Yeah, and then lastly, Nick, just the main event. Stella Emmetsberger arguably shocking the world last time, upsetting Jackie Bunta. What are your thoughts here with the rematch?
I don't know why this one is happening for the kickboxing belt, and
yes.
I think it should be rematched for the Muay Thai belt because it was such a good fight last time, but also Jackie did such a good job of coming back from the first round, and she very nearly got it. I think she won 3 rounds on scorecards. Stella obviously had an incredible first round, and you could say she knew that, and she didn't then kind of go full throttle the rest of the fight. But I think you had more of a reason to run it back in Muay Thai than to do kickboxing. Stella has got a kickboxing background. Obviously, that's her thing. So I think she's going to win this fight. Yeah, I think. And then it's going to be weird because she's going to be 2-0 on Jackie potentially if she does win. And then you might be like, oh, well, Jackie ain't going to get the Muay Thai rematch now. We move on. But I think we need that Muay Thai rematch. I would have done that first before this one. Definitely. But just looking at it on this basis, on this fight, yeah, I think Muay Thai is Jackie's thing, and kickboxing is Stella's thing, and I think Stella's gonna have too much. She's gonna handle. Jackie didn't look too. That fight with Mexon was just really weird.
Yes.
I think Mexon was kind of checked out anyway, but
Yes.
and on the decline. But Jackie doesn't strike me as like a natural kickboxer. Oh God, I must sound horrible because I love Jackie and I love Brian Popejoy, her coach, Boxing Works, and I love Janet Todd and all the crew there. I just think Jackie's Muay Thai, and I think I would have, and I know they wanted the Muay Thai rematch. I know that's what they wanted, and before this fight was signed, there was talk of like, are we going to do Muay Thai or kickboxing? Stella said kickboxing. Jackie said Muay Thai. Ended up going to kickboxing. So I think I'll say this. I think if they have a rematch, I think Jackie wins Muay Thai. I think Stella wins this kickboxing belt. Yeah. I think I can just see Stella being a little too crafty here. I don't think Jackie's going to have the same knockout power she's shown. And I don't think we've seen Stella struggle at all in one. It's not the greatest sample size, but definitely, as far as I know, no knockdowns or anything she suffered. Like Jackie did bust her up pretty bad on the nose, but you know that was known before that Stella has a weak nose. It's been broken before, and it's kind of there to hit. So. If Jackie didn't know to target Stella's nose, she knows now, not just because if she sees this, but through that fight, she can bust up Stella's breathing. That might throw her off. Who knows? Like I wouldn't want to fight with a broken nose against Jackie Buntan. She's deadly. So if you can cut off the breathing, you might be able to disrupt Stella's rhythm. Who knows? But I think Stella will have too much. She's a lot taller.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Stella on this one, but I think Muay Thai. I think Jackie would take the belt in a rematch. I don't think she would get caught like she did the first time.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go, and that is of course taking place at 4 a.m. South African time. But be sure to check your local listings. Nick, we promised you this would last about 30 minutes. We are approaching an hour 40 now.
That's fine. I want to hear who you think wins the main event. Come on. And then we go.
Let's get your predictions and we can see.
No, I'm inclined to agree with Nick. For the reasons what he just mentioned now, I think I saw enough in that fight against Jackie in the Muay Thai gloves. And also Stella's opening bout as well. I think I don't know who she fought now, but I saw enough of the style to know how she can manage distance. She knows how to use her reach really well. I think kickboxing, the threat of being damaged isn't as big as it is in Muay Thai because of the 4-ounce gloves. And in Muay Thai, Jackie was using a lot of elbows when they got tight. That changes everything in a fight. But in this fight, there's no elbows. And I feel like that's going to favor Stella a bit more. On top of that, she's got Alicia Rodriguez in the corner. Domaninchak is also in the corner. Like these are really top-level fighters that's going to be there. And also, I've seen Jackie for a while. You know what I mean? So they have tape to go on it, and they got game plans where they can actually keep Jackie at bay. And we watched Jackie's fight against Janet Todd in kickboxing. Again, I'm kind of saying the same thing over here, but Jackie just doesn't look as deadly in the big gloves as opposed to when she's fighting Muay Thai. In Muay Thai, she's got so much power behind her shots. She's hyper aggressive, and I just find one thing I noticed in that first fight was whenever Jackie did get aggressive and get in and land a patented left hook from the body shot, Stella found a way to counter that, and that was just being short check elbows or short jab and getting out on an angle, and she was never really staying there long enough to get tagged by Jackie. So I find that to be a big thing in this fight as well. So that's why I'm actually going with Stella. I find Stella's going to be too crafty, and I think that range and that distance that she can control, which she did in the first fight, I think that's going to be even more prominent in this fight as well. That's why I got Stella for the win. And I want Jackie to win, so we don't have Stella going to division champion, and then we might not even get the rematch again. We might even get a Muay Thai rematch. I kind of want Jackie to win so we can get the trilogy fight, and then we can start a new rivalry in the promotion. Right? That would be good for the promotion to start a new rivalry for the women's division. I know we haven't. I know we're getting Pajija and Rodriguez. years. I
Finally.
think this division for strawweight, I think it's going to be good for Jackie and Jackie to win, because then we get more to come. That's just my opinion. But I do think that Stella is going to be a little bit too crafty and manage the 5 rounds.
I want Jackie to have a belt as well. I think she deserves to be a champion in one. It would be a shame if she didn't have it, but obviously Stella would deserve it if she had both belts. But there's a way we can have one belt on either woman and like have them fight other people and just not each other endlessly. That's cool with me.
Yeah,
I love both of them. They're both great to watch.
absolutely. And they're young.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right then, Nick. Once again, we did promise you 50 minutes. We're approaching hour 40.
I warned you, like, don't let me go off.
No, we've
stop talking. Yeah.
We've been so grateful to have you on.
Yes.
And for the time that you've given us, absolutely amazing. So, Nick, from the bottom of our hearts, honestly, thank you so much. Early on, you did mention about helping kind of smaller channels to grow, and yeah, honestly, we appreciate that so much. So yeah, just again from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for the time today. Hopefully we can get you on again sometime, and maybe
I'd love to. Yeah,
full fight card sometime. You and BG can hash it out. I'm sure the fans would love to see that.
Yeah,
let us know in the chat or in the comments if that's something you guys would like to see. But yeah, just thanks so much again, Nick. BG, any final words for our honorary guest here?
I just want to echo what you said, because I must say I've been watching One Championship since just before the induction of the Friday Fights cards. And Nick, you were the point of reference when it came to anything One Championship. So having you on our channel right now is such a pleasure, and I can't find enough words to describe the appreciation and joy for you taking the time out to do this for us. So yeah, much love. I hope to get the opportunity to do it again, especially if we can break down a fight card together. I think that'll be absolutely amazing. But yeah, just again, much love, big thanks, and I want to wish you all the best your endeavors for One Championship. Let's make it big. Let's keep going.
Dude, I'm happy to come back. If you ever want me, to do a recap or anything, whatever you want, just let me know if we can make it work, of course. And I'm honored you say those things. Really, it's touching my heartstrings right now.
Let's go.
It's crazy to have people say that kind of thing to you. It means a lot. It makes a lot of what I do worth it. To have people say such nice things, and not everyone can have that in life, and I'm really honored. I'm blessed. So I just want to spread that back to anyone who wants to get to succeed in the thing in their life that they want. If I can help anyone else, I'm going to try and help. So like I said, I've been in your shoes. When I started my show, I remember it's like you know like what's going to happen. I don't know. Is it ever going to be a thing? You never know. But if I can help anyone grow by like one view, that's cool. That's I'm honored. Thanks for having me, man.
Much love, Nick. Thank you so much, man. I mean, we can't quite call you a legend yet, but because you are still quite active in the game. But ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Nick Atkin for the very last time. Thank you so much today, Nick. And we hope to see you very soon.
Yeah, my pleasure. You should come to Bangkok. I don't know how far. Oh, the boys told me last time how they got there from South Africa. It doesn't sound very easy, but
once we get the super chats and the ad revenue going, we will have another discussion. Maybe in a few months, depending on how things go. But it's definitely something we're going to do.
If Bokang fights, you have to come. I think Bokang fights Pacio.
Let's go. Bokang fights for the title, bro. That would be epic, bro. That would be so epic.
I'll make it happen.
You have to.
I'll make it happen.
Promise me.
Nick. We'll promise you today. If that fight gets announced, BG, we have to do it, bro. Once in a lifetime type of opportunity. But once again, Nick Atkin, thank you so much for your time once again. We'll be very happy to have you back in the future once again. And let us know if you guys have any questions or any chats for Nick, and we'll be sure to forward those along. All right, Nick, thank you so much. We'll take your screen. Please feel free to get on with the rest of your day.
I gotta walk the dogs. Yeah, they're gonna be mad at me. You know, it wasn't just you who thought this was gonna be 15 minutes. I think they thought it would be too. So they'll be desperate right now. I'll get out of here. But thanks for having me, guys. Pleasure. And I've been watching you guys. I appreciate you tagging me all this stuff, and I always try to share it if I see it. I wish you all the best grow and grow and grow. And yeah, I love the content you do, and I just love anyone supporting One Championship as well. It's great to see. Not everyone gives it a chance, but to hear you guys, the love you have for it, and like the knowledge you have as well is awesome. You know, it's great to see.
We appreciate that, Nick. Thank you so much, man. We'll see you. Have a good one.
Thank you. All right, you too, guys. See you.
All right, BG, that does conclude our segment with Nick Atkin. Any final thoughts before we wrap up for the afternoon, bro?
Yeah, I wanted to wrap up quite a few things, but I'll be honest with you, I've got such a big P right now, and I'm like, it's like in here. So I'll probably talk a little bit more about Nick's stuff later when I do the preview for the fight card that's coming up this weekend. But I'm just very grateful that we had this opportunity to do this, bro. Really, I'm super grateful.
All right, there we go. And yeah, of course, same from my side. But ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We got new content coming, so you can watch the podcast
I watch a
every day.
podcast every day.
Joe Rogan, from myself, another guy, and the Fighting with Friends crew. Thank you so much for anyone who tuned in. Thank you so much for the chats. If you're watching the interview, it's not live. Be sure to leave your thoughts, comment section, like, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers, everyone.